hey, you gotta go uphill, and then so we find the elevation and then we flag it. And then so it's perfectly level for across 30 feet, and if it's off by a quarter of an inch, who really cares? It's still doing the same thing. So yeah, that's just how it kind of starts. We don't like the crazy heat and the droughts. We love the trees and the spring water and the hill country. What makes the hill country the hill country? You know, the fern limestones and the nice cool breeze, big heritage oaks.
And where did you get all this dirt to make a farm?
Yeah, so
I mean,
what we do is a double dig. So with an excavator, I goes down, and so say I go down 2 feet, when I use that to go there, usually you can't go down. We had to get we had some oak trees up here, and oak trees make the best soil out here. And so just having a little bit to work with gave us a lot. So yeah, that thing was a 6-ton mini excavator. It went through it like butter, which is awesome. I can't make through that.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's all caliche. It's really hydrophobic, and this we cover that. We don't let it sit like this. This is just how it was in that stage. You don't have to do this. You don't have to rent an excavator and do all this crazy stuff. You know, it can be a lot. You can do other methods. You can lay down single rock dams. You can do check valves and leaky weirs. There's all kinds of swimming pools and terraces.
Can you do like branches and leaves and mulch?
Yeah, you can lay them down. So sometimes a lot of branches fall out here, and you come back 10, 20 years later, and they're still there because we don't have the microbiology, the microbiome to digest that. And so that's why nothing is regenerating and getting back together. Often you see videos since COVID happened, and you'll see, oh, just leave it alone, the ecosystem comes back. Well, that's not true in the hill country. Out here in the Edwards Plateau, it just gets worse. It's a leaky ecosystem. It just gets worse and worse. We have to intervene. We have to do something. And so there's all kinds of methods that we can do it. Like I was saying, you can put single rocks all the way around, and then once that catches enough sediment, you just put another layer of rocks on there. And you walk on your paths in the morning, you can walk by, move some sticks, lay them on contour. You come back in a few months and you see how much soil is built and how much water it catches. And then seeds can now go in there, and then vegetation can now establish in areas that have no vegetation. In some areas, we're able to look back in satellite imagery up to 20 years and we don't see anything growing. And so you would think, oh wow, wouldn't it come back? It doesn't.
That's why some of us have had friends and wildflowers who grow now and do nothing.
It
They
can.
need to start and go back and work the soil first.
Yeah, so you really want to do like more of a rain garden. You want to design your garden to capture the rain, to work with the rain rather than just going down the property. And then obviously encourage planting natives or herbs and stuff that take a lot less water. But as you establish these systems, they actually generate their own water. And so the forest makes it rain. The rain forest makes it rain. And a lot of people don't know that. But, and that's what happens when we're deforesting, we're cutting down our average rainfall. And we'll get more into that as well. But so this is the first stage, and then we come in and we cover crop it. And in cover cropping, we make custom blends. Cover cropping, you can see peas and rye. I use clover and triticale and oats for my winter cover crop. I use different seasonal blends and different environments for different soils. We use different blends. But this is to get the soil covered, to get life into the soil, to protect it from the sun, and to fix nitrogen, like the peas and the what else was there? The crimson clover, those fix nitrogen in there. And so what that does is it makes the grass greener, for one, but also it makes your fruit sweeter. And so planting fruit trees and all these alley crops, we put all kinds of vegetables between our trees. but it just increases the life and the fertility, and so you don't need these chemical fertilizers, you don't need these salts into your soils like this. You can get them with living organisms that cycle them into our environment, so you don't need to buy fertilizers. Just like I was saying earlier, nobody waters the woods, nobody takes care of the woods, but if we don't water our garden for like 3 weeks or something, we're toasted. So that's the kind of gardening I want to do. And often I'm in the garden and it gets too hot, I'm running to the trees. And so that's why we're doing a food forest as well, because it keeps the environment cooler. So the plants do this too. They increase transpiration, they increase the holding capacity of the roots. A lot of it is secrete waxes. They do all kinds of stuff that hold on to the water. And like even the cactus, they turn into gels, and so they change the phase of the water, and it makes it so much harder to evaporate. But like I was saying, trees are actually better. They're the #1 leading in that. They make the environment cooler, and they make it rain. They do something that's called transpiration, which is how we sweat basically. We're sweating, and the light pumps are priming it up and cooling off the environment, and that's what we need out here. But so anyways, this also is increasing our ratio. Out here we have a lot of caliche limestone, so it's very alkaline. And that can be a problem. It's bacteria-dominated ratios, and what we need is more of a fungal-dominated ratio. That's what trees thrive in. And so putting in these cover crops, it helps speed up the succession, because the ryegrass has like